Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. If you can hear me, please say something in the comment section so that I can, so that I'll know that you are here. Just say something in the comment section so I'll know that you are here. So I'll know that you are here. If you are here, please let me know that you're here. Just say something. All right, yeah, I can see you, Hilary. If you're on Instagram and you want to join the Smart Property Investor webinar and you have the link to the webinar, please um, go on, click on the link sent to you via WhatsApp or via SMS or email, and you will join us on YouTube. Hi, Joseph. All right, guys. We are going to be starting right now. I wanted us to just wait a bit for other persons to join us. Let me also know if you can see my screen properly. Let me know if you can see my screen properly. If you're on Instagram, please you can join us on YouTube so that you can see the slides. On Instagram you'll just hear, but on YouTube you'll see everything. David, you can't see, you can't hear. I guess you should. I don't know. Probably should check your settings. If others can see and hear, then it's probably you know from your end. Hi, Kim's Capital. All right. Hilary, please let me know once you want me to get started. Okay, fantastic. So Precious can't hear. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Probably something wrong with your settings. Just probably fix it up because other persons can hear me. All right, I'll start in. Oh, you can't see my screen, David. Oh, allow me share my screen. Oh, my screen isn't clear enough. Oh, wow. Uh, Let me try it again and see if my screen will be clear enough. let me see if that would work. Is this better? Okay, okay, all right. If you say so, you say so. It's better. All right. So I will just stick with this. Okay, I will just stick with this then. So, all right. It's very clear. All right, all right. Okay, so what I'll do is I will introduce myself. You can see me as well, right? I know you can see my screen, but can you see me? Okay, fantastic. All right, guys, welcome to the Smart Property Investor webinar. My name is Olisa Omera, and I am the CEO of Symbolic Development Limited, the parent company that builds the Jointly products. Um, in this webinar, I am going to, sorry, in this webinar, I am going to unravel, everything about real estate ownership. I'm going to show you how you can, you know, own real estate without breaking the bank. I'm going to show you how you can earn rent from income producing real estate every year, you know, and you can do that just by co-owning, different forms of real estate. But before we get, you to the matter of the day, the question is, why am I equipped? Why am I, what qualifications do I have to give you or to share this information? First of all, I'm a real estate practitioner. I've been in real estate for about 6 years. I started my real estate journey sometime in 2016 by selling real estate for real estate developers. And then along the line, I decided to start up a real estate development company. Now, the whole idea of jointly came up in 2017. Um, when I started thinking to myself, how else can people earn rental income without having to buy a whole house, right? How else can people earn rental income without having to save money for years, buy a whole house, maintain it, manage it? Because, I was thinking to myself, what happens is that people, try to save money for a house, and then after saving for years, you want to buy a house, probably in Lekki Phase 1. And then by the time you've saved up the money to buy the house, what you find out is that uh, the house you want to buy, is no longer available at that price. So you want to buy a house, a four-bedroom duplex in Ikate, for instance, and then you want to save up 65 million naira. You then discover that, hey, when I'm ready to buy the house, a four-bedroom duplex in Ikate now sells for maybe say 80 million naira, and now you probably now have to, save up more money. Or what some people do is that they now use that money they've saved, as a deposit, and then try to raise money to pay up for the house. So the whole idea of jointly is that for anyone who wants to really earn rental income, for people who are focused on earning rental income, this is a solution for you. Now, besides practicing real estate for 6 years, I am also taking up a master's degree in real estate, at the University of Reading in England, right? And in a nutshell, real estate is something that I've dedicated myself to do. Why? Because it's not just stable, it's not just profitable, but it is fascinating, especially when people can actually earn predictable rental income from it. And that's quite a bit about myself. So the question I want to ask you is, have you ever wondered if real estate investing could be done any different from what it is currently? Right? I have explained already that what most people do is that they buy a house, and then You know, if they have some invest some atom of investment in them, right? But what they do is that they buy a house and they rent it out, or they buy, a parcel of land, build apartments on it, and then rent out parts of, like some apartments, and then keep some for themselves. Now the thing is, the average person ends up earning just probably one piece of real estate or two, and that's because real estate has always been uh, reserved, so to say, for the rich. Real estate has always been reserved for the wealthy. So people who purchase real estate are seen as people who have, all the money. Now the question is, can it be done differently? Right? Can it be done differently? If we leave Nigeria, right, if we leave Africa, you see that in other parts of the world, in Singapore, in the US, in the UK, people have, tried and succeeded at, tweaking the real estate industry. People have brought up opportunities in the real estate industry, and it was only wise for us to think that, okay, I think it's time for us to make some of these opportunities available, you know, uh, in Nigeria. But first, before we fully answer that question, let us take a look at the current state of real estate in Nigeria, right? Um, there are two reasons, mostly two reasons people buy real estate. One of them is for their own use. They want to buy, build, and live in it. Or buy land, build on it, and live in it. Or buy land and use it for agriculture, right? And the second one is for investment purpose, which is the main reason we are here. The first, when I say investment purpose, most people want to purchase real estate. Most people want to own real estate so that they can generate income within a period of time or for a lifetime. So when I say within a period of time, most people own real estate. Maybe you lease a building somewhere in VI, and then you put it on the rental market. You lease the building for 20 years, right? And then for that period of 20 years, what happens is that you earn rent for the 20 years. But for a lifetime, you buy a building, or buy a parcel of land, build on it, manage it properly, right? And then you earn rent for the rest of your life. So for the purpose of this webinar, we are going to be focusing on number two, which is income producing properties, which is investment, which is real estate that can pay you, rental income for the rest of your life, either for the rest of your life or for a period of time. For those who are on Instagram, if you signed up for the webinar, you could just check your SMS or check your email, right? And you will see the link to the presentation so that you can see the slides, right? So let's go on. Now, like I said, there are different methods people use to achieve their real estate goals. One of them is to buy land, build from scratch, and then what happens is that when they finish building, they either sell immediately at a higher price or they rent, right? So let's say you buy a parcel of land, let's say you buy a parcel of land somewhere in maybe Shangotedo for say 40 million naira. You build, a four bedroom duplex, you build it around say maybe say 45 million naira thereabout, and then you sell, the parcel of the building for say 95 million naira, 100 million naira. That's build and sell. And then other persons buy the land, they build on the land, and then they put it on, the rental market. The rental market could either be the regular rental market, where people pay rent every year, or they put it on the, short-let market that gives a higher, yield per year, which is like a higher return on investment every year. That's one model. What some people do is they buy properties that are, old and dilapidated, and they renovate them, and they either sell it immediately or put it on the rental market as well. Then we have those who lease, the property and renovate and put it on the rental market. And then there is land banking. For land banking, it's people who buy land and keep it for a long period of time, And after the land has appreciated, they then sell this land. These are the different ways people invest, in real estate. Now, because we are focusing on income producing properties, right? we are going to be looking at, the different, types of income producing properties. Now, you see, for me, the main thing that fascinates me about real estate is the fact that real estate can produce income for you. Think about the fact that, you know, what real estate does is that you put money in a property, you put money in something, and then immediately it is occupied, immediately people start using it. For as long as that property stands, that property would pay you income every month, every quarter, every year, right? Now, look at it like this. All you have to do is do the work once and then manage the property. Now, and the best part about it is that if you know what you are doing, if you understand how to insure your property, right, which basically, saves it from unforeseen circumstances, fire, flood, storm, anything, even when the property is destroyed by error, by human mistakes, what happens is that that property still stays. So you pay the insurance company. Sorry, let me keep my coffee here. You pay the insurance companies, right? They insure your property, right? Even when something happens to the property, they give you money, you build that property back, and you keep earning. Not only does it pay you for the rest of your life, but if something happens to you, or if you want to, give someone, your children, something worthwhile, what happens is that you can transfer your property to another person, to your next of kin, and that person keeps earning. Think about very old, properties. Go to places like Ikoyi, you see properties that, have been there for years. Think about properties in Surulere. Think about properties in Yaba, right? These places are in Lagos, and these properties have been there for years, and they've been paying generation after generation. So it pays this generation, pays the next generation, pays the generation after that, and it will keep paying different generations to come. Why? Because real estate is not just profitable, it is stable, right? It's not something that, in how do I put it now? Like stocks and crypto and all that. And I'm not bashing any of these other, asset classes, but real estate, especially in Nigeria, right? Real estate, you know, what happens is that it keeps paying you. And when you decide that, hey man, okay, I need some good money, I need bulk money, I need to do something else with my money, all you have to do is probably just sell your real estate and then plug that money somewhere else. So let's look at some income producing properties, and how they generate revenue, from each one. So we have shopping complexes, right? Shopping complexes, you can get rent from these shopping complexes, you can get parking tickets. Look at what ShopRite is doing. Those car parks, people pay for parking, people pay for advertisement, right? So rent, parking ticket, advertisements from just shopping complexes. Then we have recreational centers. Recreational centers, give you rental income in terms when people book for events, and advertisement and all that. Then we have office complexes that give you rental income. You have car washes that give you rental income, not just rental income. I mean, when people use it, right? When people use the car wash, what happens is that they pay, to wash their cars and all that, and then the person who is using the car wash, does what, pays the owner of the place rent, and then car wash, you can also use it for advertisement. Then we have apart hotels, service apartments, we have vacation homes. All this give you high yield rental income, right? Via booking. So groups, corporations, individuals, can book your apartments, can book your vacation homes, and use, these properties. And then we have residential property, which is like the regular rental income. Everyone here lives somewhere, and then they pay rent. That's basic real estate. Then we have value appreciation. I'm sorry, land banking, and you make money from land banking when the property appreciates. Now, the way I see real estate, any space, any usable space is real estate, right? If you have a parcel of land and convert it into something, that's real estate, and it gives you income, gives you rental income. So the issue is All the challenges and pressure that come with real estate investing, right, are all wrapped into three factors, right? So I want to invest in real estate. I want to invest in real estate. There are three things that can hold you back. One of it is the cost, which is like almost the major thing. Most people do not have the money to invest in real estate. The second one is okay, I have the cost. I can bear the cost. I have the money to invest in real estate. But where is the time, right? Most people have to go look for the land. After looking for the land, some people have to, then get, like a team to construct the project. After doing that, they also have to get people to manage the project. Then when the property is ready, right, you don't have to get a team to manage the project. Now, to manage the building, right? Now, the thing about real estate is if you don't take care of it, it will not take care of you, right? If you don't take care of it, it won't take care of you. So you have a building somewhere in Lekki, and then people are using it, it's paying you rental income, and you're happy. But you don't maintain it. You don't paint it after a few years. You don't fix things that spoil. Do you know what happens? It will keep dilapidating, and the value of the property will keep depreciating. There's a difference between value and price. You know, value is the perceived worth of the property, while price is what people pay, for the property. So I mean, let's not talk about that. But what happens is that the value of the property keeps going down because you know you're not managing the property. So there are three issues: cost, time, and management. And then we break it down like this. The cost is cost of acquiring these properties, and then time is the personal effort, the time that it requires to put up these properties, and then manage them. And then management, comes with some expertise. So under management, picture yourself, dealing with multiple tenants, in the middle of the night, or when you probably travel down or something, your tenant is calling you to that, his tap is leaking, his toilet is leaking, or when you have to deal with vacancies, right? Because real estate is only productive when people use them, right? So if people don't use them, like what's the point? So I would rather build something in Kafanchan if I'm sure that there are people that would use it than build in Ikoyi when it's obvious that nobody will use it, right? So if I build right low cost housing in Kafanchan, for instance, right, and I'm sure that there are people that would use these properties. It's easy to create a business model out of it. It's easy to see how the money is coming, right? But if you build duplexes in Ikoyi and it's too expensive and nobody uses it, what you've done is that you've put your money in that project. You finish the project, but nobody is using it. Nobody is using it. And no real estate investor wants that. Nobody wants to keep their property and then have high vacancy rate. People want their property occupied because that's when the money comes, right? So what are real estate companies doing to solve this problem of costs, time, and money? And there are lots of things that real estate companies are doing. First of all, when you talk about cost, what some companies have done is that they have introduced what we call installment payment, right? I mean, you make a deposit for a property. You want to buy a two-bedroom apartment in Lekki, phase one. You deposit 20 million, 10 million, right? And spread the balance for maybe say 6 months, 10 months, 12 months, 24 months. You see, the problem with that is that, someone might deposit 25 million right now, 10 million right now, and then it starts paying every month. Then, yeah, I mean, life happens, right? Somewhere along the line, something happens to you, and then you can't keep up paying. What happens is that you are basically going to lose that property. Not only are you going to lose that property, you are going to lose that property and the percentage of the money you've paid because hey, these real estate companies have spent money, right, in running this project. So you might lose maybe say 20, 10, 30% of how much you paid for the property already. So does that really solve the problem? In a way, but not totally. What some other companies have done is that they've 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 decided to see if they can come up with affordable properties. But in real estate, I mean, especially in Nigeria when interest rates are high, and the naira is always running against the dollar, right? What happens? You cannot really develop affordable products unless you decide to use materials that are sub quality, right? Unless you decide to cut corners. And really, what's the point of doing this whole thing if you are going to cut corners, right? Then uh you know uh basically, if you look at the real estate spectrum, like, you will see that there are different companies doing different things to solve this issue of costs, right? And then when it comes to time, I mean, there are lots of uh, contractors out there, right? But this is for people who have money. You want to get a contractor to develop a project for you, you must have the money for that project first, right? And management, of course, there are management companies everywhere, but of course, you pay the management companies to do that for you. But this still comes back to the fact that you must have the money to develop this project before, right? Before you can solve the issue of time and then management. So the question is, are they truly solving all these problems? Now, I can tell you for free that there's really no one company, no one solution to all these problems. If you solve the issue of cost, what happens to the issue of time and money? You know, if you time and management, right? If you solve the issue of time and management, of course, it's for people who have the money, right? And then uh, what if you get a team? I mean, to handle putting up a deal for you, so they get like mortgages for you, and then help you buy the land, so they save you time. They construct it for you, and then manage it for you. For that to happen, I mean, it means that you probably have some good money to pay for their services. So these three problems are just hanging there, that issue of cost, issue of time, and issue of management, right? Because if you don't have that money, how do you pay people to carry out the services for you, right? And that is where we come in, right? What we are bringing up as a solution is something that we believe will not just save you the issue of cost, will not just save you the issue of time, and it will also save you the issue of management. So what it does is that it takes out the issue of cost. If your goal is to earn rental income, first of all, it takes out the issue of cost, right? It allows you come in where you are. Hey, I have 500K now. Okay, no problems. We point that property for you. 500K, you can get that. You can get the project. Because when the project is done, it is insured, and when it's insured, the management team is set up, right, to take care of that project. So after 3 years, paint the building. When people use it for 2 years, paint the interior. There's an expert management team that is there to manage the properties, so that the value of your properties, right, would not keep going down. And now, before I talk about this solution, personally, right, I believe that everyone with a decent income, right, who is keen on growing wealth through real estate should be able to, regardless of status, affluence, or regardless of who they know, right? Most people do not think it is possible, but we have devised the means to make this possible. And how is that? We have decided to apply the fractional ownership model. So everyone gets a fair slice of the pie. And this idea came to me in 2017, right? And I thought to myself, is it possible for me to earn, you know, 100,000 naira from 1,000 apartments? Let me do the math here. I mean, I don't know if you can see my screen. 100,000 naira for one apartment. If I can earn 100,000 naira for one apartment, that would be 100 million naira every year. Even if it takes me 20 years to do it, right? And I know that every year I mean, when all my rental income comes, right, I'll be earning 100 million naira, every year. the question you ask yourself is, how much will it even cost you to take care of yourself? I mean, you want a house, you want to live in a house, go on vacation, pay children's school fees, even if they are going to, you know, what's the name now, Ivy League schools, right? There's a kind of income that you would have, you'll be able to take care of that. Now, what I want to explain to you is how fractional ownership works, right? How co-ownership works, right? So co-ownership is, owning a percentage of an entire asset. So there's a two-bedroom apartment, right? Instead of owning 100%, you own part of it, 10%, 20%, 5%, 1% of this, apartment. But let me explain that using, you know, an analogy we call the pineapple analogy. Now, imagine that real estate companies are fruit sellers, right? And there is one giant pineapple for sale worth 50 million naira. One pineapple. Now, one rich man comes and grabs this pineapple, while others who want to eat pineapple but cannot afford watch on the sidelines. I mean, they are waiting for when they have money to own one whole pineapple, right? Now, the best thing these fruit sellers can do is make this one man pay the 50 million naira, right, for this pineapple within a 6 months to 1 year period, because hey, he says take 10 million naira, right, spread the balance for this pineapple, you know, over 6 months, over 1 year, but go with the pineapple, go and eat the pineapple, right? Now, that way, this rich man owns what's the name, the pineapple, right? Not just will the rich man own the pineapple, any other person who can make a deposit, right, to buy that pineapple. I mean, you pay 5 million, you pay 10 million, you can, I mean, hey man, come on, take the pineapple, go eat it, and then pay for the pineapple over time. But what would happen if we take that one pineapple and we cut it into 50 places? One huge pineapple. Or you take that one pineapple and you cut it into 100 places, right? So one person can buy one piece of the pineapple. Remember, what everyone is looking for is the juice, the nutrients that will come from the pineapple, right? So you take that one whole pineapple that is worth 50 million naira, cut it into 100 places. Each pineapple is now worth 500,000 naira. So there's someone there who has saved up 2 million naira, but the 2 million naira is still not up to the amount he has to deposit for that pineapple, right? But that 2 million naira, he can use it to buy four pieces, four slices of that pineapple. He takes the four slices and he does what? He takes it, he eats it, he enjoys the juice, he enjoys the nutrients. Someone else has 1 million naira and he buys just two pieces of the pineapple, right? And he enjoys the same juice that the man who has 50 million naira, is enjoying, right? Another person comes and says, I have just 500,000 naira, and he pays 500,000 naira. He takes one slice, right? This is exactly how fractional ownership works. Now let's apply this, same thing to real estate. There's one whole property called that sells for 100 million naira, but you don't have the money to buy it, right? And then it's divided into 100 slots. You have 1 million naira to buy it, to buy one slot. You pay that 1 million naira, you pay that 500,000 naira, whatever amount it is, right? Now, once you pay that money, you now own a part of that building. You now own a part of that apartment. Now, by owning a part of that apartment, you are entitled to the rental income that comes from that apartment. So every year, every month, right, when that property earns rent, you are paid a part of that rent. Anytime that property is sold, if it is sold, right, you will also benefit from the capital appreciation that comes from selling that property, right? Now, if at any point you decide that you want to pass the ownership of your shares in that property to someone else, your children, right? You can pass the ownership of your shares, and anywhere you stop, your children will keep earning rent from that one property that you bought once, right? And that is the beauty of fractional ownership. I mean, if you look on the screen here, you will see, how I broke it down because hey, what you earn from a property is tied to your investment in that property. In this 50 million naira example, someone who bought, something worth 5 million naira, 5 million naira, he owns 10% of that property. So his annual rental income, is 5%, is 10% rather of what the property gives every year. Someone who gives 1 million naira owns, 2%, right? So what do you get? You get 2% of the rental income that comes from the property. Someone who said, okay, you know what, I have 10 million naira, but I don't think I can do more than 10 million naira. What do you own? You own 18% of the entire thing. So you get 18% of the rent every year. Now, this is the beauty of fractional ownership. The best thing about this is that, unlike normal investments you see online and all that, that people just keep taking your money and taking your money and taking your money. The good thing is that once the slots in this property are sold out, it means that the building is completely sold and the sale is automatically stopped. So there is no, he's taking our money and putting it somewhere else. Not just that, you also be able to see the property, visit the property, touch the property, right? And this is the beauty of fractional, real estate ownership. Now, jointly is a platform that allows people to sign up and co-own real estate, right? So you can sign up on jointly, pick a property, invest in that property, and then earn rents or capital gains from that property. And we do this using three strategies. The first strategy is what we call the co-build. And the co-build is simple. Co-build allows you to invest in the construction, in the development of a new project, right? So there's a new project, say 4-bedroom duplex, we want to build it. You invest in it, right? You buy a part of that project, and then the project goes on and is completed. When it's completed, it is sold. Now, when this project is sold, you earn profits, right? Parts of the profits from the sale of this project. And this is usually a short-term strategy for people who want something between 1 year, 2 years, max thereabout. They use the co-build strategy. The second strategy we have is the co-lease strategy, which is people who want to earn, high yield rental income, for a period of years, around 2 to 20 years thereabout, right? So we want to lease a block of flats, and we want to use it for short-let apartments, right? So we lease it for 20 years, right? Every year, and then every year we earn rent. In fact, every month we earn rent, right? Now what happens is that when this rent is paid, you get a portion, of the rent after removing all the costs of marketing and management and all that. Then we have the co-own strategy, which is like the holy grail of, the like the holy grail of fractional ownership. Because what this does is that after you purchase a property with other people, after you purchase a slot in the property with other people, you get to earn rent from this property for the rest of your life using this strategy. Now, the good thing about it is that when you purchase this slot on the property, if at any time you decide that, okay, I want to sell parts or all of my shares in this property or my slots in this property, you can sell it on a secondary market using a feature we call the sell feature, right? Which will be available on the platform, next year, right? So you hold the property for a while, and then you earn rent from it, and then you decide, okay, you know what, I want to sell my slot, all of my slots or part of my slot. All you have to do is put it on the platform using the sell feature, and then someone else can buy it, the company can buy it, right? So you are not obliged to hold the property forever. The property is not cannot be tied to you forever if you want to offload it at some point. Now the question is, why is fractional ownership? Why is co-ownership a game changer? One, with co-ownership, you're able to split the cost of the property with other investors. Two, it enables you to acquire and have access to property you may not be able to afford on your own. So if we are building a 12 floor, project, service apartments, right, in Ikoyi, normally, I mean, if they say come and buy one for 150 million naira, you might not be able to buy it on your own. But with fractional ownership, you can buy one slot, right, of this property, right, and then earn rent from that property. The same thing goes for a vacation home, or let's say we want to build a hotel, right? You can own slots in one room or multiple rooms in a hotel using this strategy. Normally, you might not be able to take out money and buy a room in a hotel. And the best part is that on jointly, not only have we brought down the costs because we have divided it into slots, we have also introduced an installment payment option that allows you to lock down a slot, make a minimum 20% deposit on that slot, and then spread balance for a period of time, 6 months, at times for 70% of the time it takes for the project. Right. So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I know people who bought one slot of the Red Roof apartment on John Lee right now with 47,000 naira, which is 20 percent of one slot in that two-bedroom apartment on the Red Roof apartment, 47,000 naira, and every month they are paying 37,600 naira, right? Which is, I mean, if you really calculate how much you're spending on all your expenses, you would see. I don't know if it's up to it or more than it, but you will see that this allows you own property, in an easy way. And when you understand that, hey, this property is going to keep paying me every year, then what are we saying? What are we saying? Right? Also, the cost of running the property is subsidized because, I mean, you don't have to employ a property manager, right? Rather, Jointly employs a property manager that manages all properties, right? So you will just sit down in your house and get updates on your property. This month, this is what we have done on this construction. Next month, this is what we have done on this construction. Okay, the property is fully developed. Then you sit down next month, you get an email. Your property has been rented, and it was rented for so price. All right, every month or every quarter or every year, your rent has been paid. This is and then you get your alert. It's just simple. And then after 2 years, this year we are going to be doing this and this and this to manage to renovate this property. We'll paint it, we'll paint this apartment, we'll fix this, we'll fix that, and this is the total cost. The best thing is that the cost is also going to be shared by everybody who owns the property. But what is even better than that is the fact that you are not going to be bringing any money out of your pocket to manage the property again. It is the same rent that you are earning that the cost of managing the property will come out from. So all you are doing is doing the work once, making payments for the property once, and then that's all, right? All you need to do is sit down and then keep earning rent. Now, I tell people that, no person who is truly wealthy owns just one rental property. So what this does is that it allows you to start owning, multiple rental properties. You own this one in Agungi, you own that one in Lekki Zone, you own this one in Surulere, you just keep owning now. Provided you can afford to, purchase these slots in these properties, it's good that you just keep owning these slots, Because you wake up 5, 10 years from now and you see that, man, I have slots in 100 properties, I have slots in 200 properties, and these properties, all of them are paying you rental income. Some higher than the others, some lower than the others. But when you calculate everything you are earning from rental income, just rental income, you would understand that, I mean, it makes sense to take this decision right now. It makes sense that you took the decision 5 years ago, 10 years ago, wherever you are having this calculation. And then you ask yourself, okay, my child wants to go to the university. How am I going to send them to the university? Okay, I'm not going to touch, my active income, the money I work for. I'm just going to take, money from my rent, right? I'll take money from my rent and pay their school fees. Okay, I don't want them to school in Nigeria. I'll take money from my rent and pay their school fees. Now, this is even a tip of the iceberg, right? So personal finance tells us that, take a percentage of what you earn every month and then invest it. So 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. I don't know how much, you know, is your percentage that you invest. Sorry. But take it and invest it. Now, imagine what would happen when you are not just investing your active income. So you are working a job right now, or you are doing a business right now, you make money. You take out 20% of the money you make every month and keep it in a separate account and invest it in properties. You buy slots in these properties, right? Now, you earn rent every year. Instead of you to take that rent and eat it, yes, we know that this rent is going to come every year. But instead of you to take the rent and eat it, you gather the rent and put it back inside that your investment account. Do you know what happens? It grows again. You carry the money and buy more properties. This is what we call compounding. And it's I mean, I don't know, someone called it the eighth wonder of the world. The eighth wonder of the world. You earn rent, you keep it, you reinvest it. In fact, even if you don't even decide to reinvest all your rent, you earn rent, you take half of it, I mean, you want to enjoy the benefit of the rent. I mean, take some money, go enjoy yourself. The remaining half, find a property, right, and put it in it. Take up, half of that money, half of everything you're earning in passive income, invest it in new properties. You would see that in 10, 20 years, you have created multiple streams, multiple streams of passive income. Now, I mean, there are three steps, to becoming wealthy. First of all, you have to make money, right? After making money, you have to keep the money, right? So you have to make sure that it doesn't get missing. You don't lose it. And the third step is to multiply it, right? Once you have learned how to make money, that is the simple part. Keeping it is like the second part, right? Ensuring that you don't put it in things that will get it missing. I mean, Warren Buffett says that number one rule of investing is never lose your money, right? So once you learn how to keep it, fine. The third part is to learn how to multiply it. Learn how to multiply it. So we don't invest in property, you earn rent, and then you take the rent and then you just spend it. Instead, take part of it, spend it, no problems. The remaining part of it, put it back in another property. Put it back in another property. Put it back in another property. You will see that the property that you invested in has given you rent, which you have used to invest in another property that has given you rent, which you have used to invest in another property. You then see that it becomes like a roller coaster. Property giving you money to invest in property, giving you money to invest in property, giving you money to invest in property. So you are not tied to how much you are making. But the first step is to pick the first property and invest in it. Make that money, make that rental income from one property. And that's where it starts, right? So I mean, when you do all this, you free up your time because the whole thing is passive, total passive income, right? So all you'll be doing is to be monitoring your portfolio, your real estate portfolio, and looking for new opportunities to multiply your investment, right? Also, when you want to, you'll be liquidating your some of your slots in the secondary market whenever you want to. And then you spend time doing other things that you really love to do, right? You spend time doing other things that you really love to do. Now, who is co-ownership for? I would really love to say that co-ownership is for everybody, but let us try and outline who is this thing really for. So first of all, I mean, it's it's not gender sensitive, right? It's for anyone who has a decent income, who wants to have multiple passive income streams, multiple streams of passive income. You know, anyone who wants their money to work for them while they spend more time with family, and doing the things that are really important. And anyone who desires to build generational wealth one step at a time, through safe instruments. Now, the thing is, would it happen overnight? No. But if you keep at it and you have like a simple formula, right? I keep 20% of my earnings right now, I put it in a property. When that property gives me rental income, I take 50% of that money, I keep it for other thing. I take 50%, I put it in another property. If that 50% is not yet okay for another property, I keep it in my investment account. So you should have like an account for strictly for investment, right? I put it in that account. You put it in that account, other things come, your 20% from your active income, you add it up, you buy on that property. You will just find out that, man, you're buying properties, you're buying slots in properties, buying slots in properties, buying slots in properties. And you wake up one morning with so much money in passive income than even your landlord at home, because you understand how real estate cash flow works. Now, the question is, why should you take this solution? Why should you sign up on Jointly right now, today, and start purchasing property? Number one is Jointly is safe, right? Safe. Jointly operates legally as a cooperative society, registered with the Ministry of the Lagos State Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives. That's one. Secondly, all properties on Jointly would go through a process of insurance. All properties on Jointly, after being developed, will be insured, right? So that it protects your investments against unforeseen circumstances that might occur in future. So it's insured. Secondly, it enables, and I mean, it's 100% passive. Yeah, let me take that first. It's 100% passive. Every property you buy on Jointly comes with full service property management. So you are free from time-consuming activities such as managing tenants, collecting rent, marketing, managing your property. You don't have to do any of this, right? And not just that, Jointly, we are also focused on medium to high yield rental income properties. Now, that's the second reason. Third reason is that Jointly enables capital growth. So you buy slots in a property today, and the property is worth 40 million naira, right? And in 5 years' time, that property is not worth 40 million naira anymore. The property is now probably worth 54 million naira, 60 million naira. If you bought 10% when it was 40 million naira, that's worth 400,000 naira. In 5 years, when the value of the property is now 60 million naira, do you know what happens? It means that the value of that your slot has also increased by the same margin that the value of this property increased. So your 400,000 naira slot is now worth 600,000 naira, and it's still paying you rental income every year, right? But if you decide to sell it, you are no longer selling at the price you bought it. You are selling at a new price. That is, the third reason. Now, it's also easy to liquidate on Jointly, right? I've talked about this sell feature, which is one of the features that makes Jointly really flexible and attractive. Is that at any time after your minimum holding period, you can sell all or part of your slots in a property at any point. So let's say 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you decide that I own 5% in this property. I want to sell 1%. I have an urgent pressing issue, and I cannot wait until uh, until my rent comes, right? let me just sell one slot. You put that slot on the secondary market, right? Jointly has that right of first refusal. Say, hey, you know, we will buy your slots immediately, right? And if Jointly is not buying it, you put it on the secondary market, someone else takes up your slot and buys it on that market. And that's why we are really working on focusing on properties that are attractive, you know, to individuals. Now, another reason is because you have access to multiple properties in prime locations. So, Jointly gives you like access to a wide range of real estate options. So you can own shares in apartments, in hotels, in recreational centers, shopping complexes, vacation homes, car parks, office complexes, or any other type of income producing property. So with Jointly, your investment portfolio is not streamlined to your income or your location, right? You can own shares in prime property no matter where it's located. So you probably live in Kano, or you live in Oshobo, or you live in Aba, and most people try to just buy properties where they live. I can't buy property outside this Aba because it's Aba that I know. No, 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 no. With Jointly, you can own property in Abuja and live in Aba. You can own property in Rwanda and live in Nigeria. You can own property in Lagos and live in Onitsha, right? And the fact that you earn 250,000 naira does not stop you from owning shares in a property that is worth 1 billion naira. So your location, right, does not stop you from owning property, at with Jointly, and your income does not stop you as well. Yeah, so Jointly also, lowers the entry barrier, right? It also lowers the entry barrier, so you don't have to wait to afford the whole property. I mean, I've said that. I have said that already. In fact, with Jointly, we've even made the entry barrier even lower using our installment feature, right? So you can purchase one slot, pay 20%, and then pay the balance, over time, 6 months, 5 months, 3 months, depending on how long you want to pay for. Right? There's a property right now on the platform. It's called Red Roof Apartment, and to purchase one slot is 235,000 naira, but you can get one slot and pay 20%. That's 47,000 naira. 47,000 naira deposit. And every month you're paying 37,600 naira if you spread for 6 months. Now, what that does for you is that you make that deposit and then you watch. Let me see what these guys are doing. And then when you've made the deposit, first deposit, second deposit, we move to site and start constructing the project. You are seeing the project with your two eyes. I mean, let me use the word Nigerians use. You are seeing it with your two koro eyes. You are seeing the project. It's not something that you cannot see, right? You want to book an inspection to visit the project, you visit it, right? And then that's just it. We also have other features like gift cards, that allow you to buy, gift cards for your loved ones. So I mean, take 50,000 naira, buy gift card and give to your loved ones instead of dashing them money, right? You give them gift cards, right? And then we also have our referral plan that allows you to refer others to purchase, and then when they purchase, you stack up points and bonuses, that can pay you both a commission and points that you can use to invest in other property. When you sign up, you find that out. And the sweetest part is that Jointly offers you real ownership. So people have asked me, when I buy this property, is it really like my own property? And the truth is that when you co-own property on Jointly, what you have is real ownership. Real ownership that can be transferred to another person, probably your next of kin or whomever you wish to transfer them to. And we back that up by giving you a certificate of beneficial ownership whenever you purchase a property on Jointly. Now, to get started is easy, and you can get started with these steps. First of all, you go to ownjointly.com. I'm typing it right now here. Ownjointly.com, or let's all just type it. Go to www.ownjointly.com. You click on the button that says create a free account. After creating your account, you log in, and then you go to marketplace, you check out the property on the marketplace, you purchase slots in any property that fits your budget. Right now, we have one properties. In the next few weeks, we are going to be adding more properties. After purchasing your slots, you wait for your certificate of beneficial ownership while you get updates on your property. Once your property is occupied, you start earning rent from your property. And it's that simple. It's that simple to start earning, you know, your own rental income. Now, I'll take a few questions, right, from you. But before that, I want to just answer some of the most frequently asked questions, on jointly. One of them says, are there specific laws in Nigeria that guide and regulate this kind of shareholding? If yes, what are those laws? And I mean, we've had these questions in the past, and our lawyer, has answered this. So yes, if you look at the Lagos State Land Registration Law of 2015, it has certain sections dedicated to joint tenancy, or holders in common. So it allows people to come together and own real estate. Plus the fact that what we operate with is a cooperative license, is a cooperative license which allows people to come together and own property. So yes, it's legal. Um, Secondly, someone asked, what are the things you should look out for before accepting any company's co-ownership proposal? And our answer here is do a proper research on the real estate company. You know, you need to be able to put faces to the people that are running the real estate company. And hey, man, we've come out, to show you that this is the team running this company. So go on our website, go on Instagram, go on Facebook, check us out, right? And then see who we are, right? Ask questions if you want to ask questions. Get an understanding of the strategy that we are deploying, so that you know what you are getting into, right? And then when you're done paying, right, ensure that you get documentary evidence, that shows your ownership in these properties. Someone else asked if Johnny is a registered company and what certifications we have. And we say yes, Johnny operates legally as a cooperative society, symbolic cooperative multipurpose society limited, with registration number 18297, and is regulated by the Lagos State Ministry of Commerce, Industry, and Cooperatives. Someone else says, what guarantees investors equity and returns? And the answer is simple. This investments are backed by real assets. A two-bedroom apartment is a two-bedroom apartment anywhere in the world, right? And if it's sitting on a building, then its rent or return from that property, are guaranteed by people using that building, right? And once the rent comes in, it is shared amongst the co-owners of that property. Um, is there a minimum amount required to start investment jointly? Yes, there are different minimum amounts required for different properties. Right now, the property on the platform is the minimum amount is 235,000 naira, but you can purchase one slot with 20%, which is 47,000 naira, and the spread balance, for 6 months. Someone asked if there's a referral program for realtors who want to sell products on jointly. Yes, all you have to do is sign up, and then you get a referral link which you can use to sign up other people. Guys, I have come to the end of this presentation, and this is time for me to take your questions. Please, if you have questions, drop them in the comment section, and I will answer each of them one at a time. Thank you very much for listening. It was nice having you. So, questions, please. Do we have questions from anyone, please? Jemima says, nice presentation. Thank you, Jemima. Precious says, "How can I get you as a mentor in the real estate business?" Probably send a private message right on Instagram, and then we'll talk about that. What is minimum percentage to pay for a start when you want to buy a property? That's what Deluxe says. Please, guys, can you show these questions on the screen? Okay, so each property is divided into slots, right? The current property we have on the website right now is divided into 200 slots, right? So you basically own like 0.5% of one property, right? And then you can make a 20% deposit of that amount. That's about 235,000 naira. So when you make a 20% deposit, that's about 47,000 naira, right? And then you can decide how long you want to spread for. Is it 3 months? Is it 2 months? Is it 6 months? Right? Once you've chosen the period you want to pay for, you pay the balance over that period. So if you choose, you a 6 month period, and then you pay 47,000 naira, as deposit for one slot, you will pay 37,600 naira every month for 6 months, right? If you want to pay it for, if you want to buy two slots, you multiply by two. If you want to buy three slots, you multiply by three. That's simple. Other questions? Are there other questions, guys? Seems like I answered all the I answered all the questions during the presentation. Other questions? David says, "Does jointly have a physical address?" Yes, we do. We are at T7 Emperor Estate, Shangotedo. All you have to do is go to our website, ownjourney.com, and then check the contact section, and you'll see our address. It's that simple. You will also see a phone number that you can call us with, or an email address that you can use to send us, emails, and we will respond to you. Do we have other questions, please? So Kings Capital Limited says the Red Roof project is built to take off mid-October. Does that still stand? Yes, it does. Today is what? Today is 16th of October. Yes. So I was there today, right? This afternoon. Yes. So we should start with preparing the site and all that. Now, are we going to start this week? No, but we should do all the we should put all the finishing touches to you know uh, what we need to do before moving to site. So we might not move mid October, but we might move last week, of October to site and start preparing the site. But once you purchase, slots in Red Roof, you are going to get updates, with that or on that rather. Does that answer your question, Kims? Any other questions, please? If you are on Instagram, you can join us on YouTube and you would see the presentation live. So Precious says, is it possible to own a land and partner with someone else to develop the land? like a co-ownership. Uh, yes, so it's like a joint venture. Yes, on your own, yes, you can do that. With jointly, right? If you want us to partner with you on the project, first of all, we have to ensure that you know the the project can be used to generate you medium to high yield rental income, something that will be worth, everyone's while. So yes, Johnny can partner with you. You can do your thing on your own and partner with people, but for Johnny to partner with you, he has to tick off, some boxes. Now, David says, when precisely is the certificate of beneficial ownership received? It's usually within 72 hours after you have purchased your slot, after your purchase is confirmed. So if you purchase today, right, and then we confirm it, right, um, it received 72 hours after that happens. We are also um, working on, having like a smart contract, on the web app, so that people can easily get their documents immediately after the purchase, so it becomes automatic. But for now, it's 72 hours. Yes, I've answered Kim's question already. Other questions? Are there any other questions, please? Okay, let's see if I can take one more question, and after that, I would we would end today's presentation. Once you finish this, just go on to www.ownjolly.com, sign up, go to marketplace, purchase your first slot. If you have any questions, send us, an email, info@ownjointly.com, and then we would respond to you. If you want us to call you, right? If you want us to call you to answer your questions, drop your phone number as well, right? And then you will keep receiving emails from us, answering your questions and explaining the entire opportunity to you. You can also send us a DM on Instagram, and someone would respond to you almost immediately. We take one more question and then we end it for today. If you don't get any questions, you know, we might just end it already. All right, guys. If you want to watch the replay, of today's webinar, all you have to do is come back to YouTube, and it will be down. It will be there for you to watch the replay of this webinar. If you want to ask questions, you can go on, ask questions, email, send us a text message, or send us a DM on Instagram. All right, guys. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar. If you're not on our Telegram group, If you're not on our Telegram group, please join the Telegram group. You can also ask your questions there. Kim's Capital says, if an investor puts up his slots for sale, how long will it take? So, there is no fixed uh, period to that, right? You can put it up right now, and then the company says, we want to buy your slot, and then they buy it, Or you can put it up, and the company says, we are not buying slots right now. Someone else buys it up immediately. So there is no fixed period. It is an actual marketplace. What we do is the marketing. So once you put up your slots, we would promote your sale to the entire, to all investors, and anybody can come up and then purchase your property. Yeah, I hope you got that, Kims. Okay, Deluxe Engineering says, I've been on the website trying to sign up, but I'm yet to receive the email confirmation link. It's been over 7 minutes now. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Maybe you should check your promotion folder, check your spam folder. I don't think you should go to spam. I don't think you should go to promotion, but check, you know. I someone will contact you immediately. Can you just drop your number, so that someone will call you, and then sort out this for you. Abubakar Sadiq Umar says, does it consider non-interest in practice? Okay, so this is how it works. Because and I understand that I want to assume, I mean, I believe that Abubakar is a Muslim. Please, can you put this question up on the screen for me? I want to assume that Abubakar is a Muslim, right? And yes, Muslim practice non-interest, investment, non-interest banking. So if as a Muslim you build properties and you earn rent, yes, you can purchase slots and earn rent, right? So it is not, we are not paying you interests on your investments. No, we are paying you rent on your ownership. And I know that, I mean, people who practice non-interest banking, non-interest investment, right, also have real estate investment, real estate ownership, properties that pay them rent. So if you can earn rent on a property, yes, then you can earn rent on this property. So it's not a um, interest-based, uh, what's the word now? It's not an interest-based practice. It's not an interest-based ownership. Secondly, for the other, what's the name now? For the other strategies, co-build and co-lease, if you can purchase land, build a house, and sell the house and earn profits, then you can do this, right? If you can lease an apartment for a number of time, right, for a number of years rather, and you can earn rent from that property, then you can do this. So what we pay you is rent from the use of your properties or profits from the sale of your properties. I hope I've answered your question, Abubakar. I want to see your answer. Okay, guys, I mean, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to us via email, info@ownjourney.com, or you can send us, a DM on Instagram, right? When you're sending your email, if you want us to speak to you on the phone, you can send, your phone number. Blessing says, can there be a quick recap for those of us just joining in? Blessing, all you have to do is just, once this webinar is over, which will be over in the next 1 minute, just, click on the video and it will play from the beginning afresh, and then you just watch the whole thing. You don't have to uh, um, get the entire recap. I mean, you can get the whole thing afresh. It's that simple. All right, guys, thank you very much for attending today's webinar. It's been 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I want us to cap it here so that we don't, um, stay here for too long. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. If you have questions, you know where to reach us: Instagram, email, phone, right? And then we will be willing to answer your questions. All right, guys, have a wonderful week ahead. I'm looking forward to see all of you, as co-landlords on our properties. I'm also looking forward to seeing all of you when we launch, these properties after, the development. All right, guys, good night.